This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
It's the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast.
We're old school, right? We wash our own dirty laundry.
The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
I refuse to be judged by a grown man wearing a hockey jersey.
Game on!
Game on!
We are back with another episode of the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast, episode 65. Wade and myself still recovering from one hell of a fantastic weekend. Oh my God, that was fun. We'll get into some of the wrap up of that and touch base on stuff. I know a lot of people have already enjoying the videos, so we'll touch base on that and a whole lot more. But first of all, we'll check in with gentlemen. Paul, since you were not able to make it to St. Louis now, you will be there in April. How's things with you?
Doing well. It's look, Barracuda started their home season, which was fun. Home opener was the first sellout they've ever had for the CUDA.
Wow.
Which,
Good for them.
Yeah, and it was a good crowd. I mean, they did comp a large number of tickets of that, but the people showed up too. So
But that's butts in seats, and they're spending money on food and drink.
Exactly. And so that was great. We had to miss the second CUDA game. It's one of the few conflicts I had with the Sharks game this year. And both it was originally set up so I think you could go to both, but then the 49ers played the Chiefs that day, so they rearranged stuff. Like they pushed the Sharks game to 5 p.m., which Sunday 5 o'clock game is great. It was against the Avalanche. It was wonderful seeing the Avalanche. That team's just so incredibly skilled. And well, we won't talk about the Sharks. But, no,
at least they have 2 ties, or at least got a couple points. But holy hell.
It's going to be a rough season for them, and it should be. I mean, it's a very young team. There's talent there, but it's years and years away.
I do feel bad for Celebrini and his injury already. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and we have no idea how long he's going to be out because the little bit we've seen of him has been impressive, and
yeah, he sure impressed us with that crazy goal.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. That was opening night against you guys. Yes. Yep. I was out of town for that one and missed one of the shows here because of that. But
way to go. Real quick mention, too, you talking about going to Barracuda game. I was, of course, at the Expo, didn't get to go, but Bloomington Bison had their opening night for the East Coast Hockey League. 4,000 people in attendance for opening night. Yeah. Rave reviews. The jerseys look good on the ice. I did confirm through the pictures of the game that the manufacturer, and off the top of my head, I can't remember who it is in the center top of the chest above the logo.
Oh, okay.
So it's not on the neck like the NHL tag it is. It's set a little bit lower, but it is officially on the game jerseys. There was questions when I showed the ones when the team premiered it, but that is confirmed. They do use Dash for their auctions. They're doing some stick auctions and stuff already, but no jerseys as of yet.
I would hope not.
No, even like an opening night set, but it's ECHL. All right. Couple other things before we get into the big topics. Expo dates. We have a few other Expo dates we need to talk about.
So Francis finally announced the Nova Expo, Saturday, March 22nd in Manassas, Virginia. Yes. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. So.
That is exactly it.
Perfect.
Dealer tables are 175, collector tables 75, and my understanding is all the tables are sold out already.
Wow.
Yeah. He announced it a few days ago, and I'm glad that one's still going on. That's in that will be after the March 1st not St. Louis, Southern Cal show. But before our Frozen 4 Expo, which, yep. I'm planning on making it to St. Louis. Monica will make the trip with me. Mitch says he's going to make it, so that'll be wonderful. And then
you're in charge of it.
Oh, you mean the guy from Drink Your Face Off? That guy?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, nobody. It's this mythic figure named Mitch who does great bottle openers, and do want to say thank you again from him. I have not posted the money up to it yet, but he sent Wade and I both some of the bottle openers to to sell and stuff at the expo, and all the money going to my upcoming charity game on November 2nd for Pucks for Autism. So that means a lot for that support, and people who got those already were very excited.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
I also forgot, because my brain's in 12 directions, the drink of this evening. Drinking it straight, did not do an old fashioned again because I haven't had a chance to make everything I need for that. A little 1792 small batch bourbon. Very good stuff. I highly recommend it. Really recommend all the bourbon. I wouldn't buy it or drink it if I didn't like it. So everything I'm drinking, I like. So you'll never hear me say, this one's okay. So cheers to everyone. We'll get that out of the way. Let's see. Wade, any other side things or thoughts before we'll get to the expo here in a minute?
Oh yeah. I've got my wrong side. My first ever teal jersey, thanks to Paul, hanging behind me.
You were so excited to open at the expo. I love that.
I was. It was my first. For me, venturing out of blues stuff is always a little fun, and it came in the mail and was brought down to me, and I was terribly excited to open it. So
it looked like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, I was like a little kid. I was definitely very excited about it. So thank you for that, to you and Monica for getting that out to me. And thank Mitch. I'm sure Mitch was very excited. He made a post about me in teal. He very much loved that. And nothing fresh. I mean, I know we're going to get into it on the show. I'm excited about the Fanatics stuff and some of the research we've already been able to do by getting our hands on a couple of them.
Yes, people are going to be a little shocked, I think, by our review.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just happy to be here tonight. Excited to be here. I was excited. I thought Justin was going to join us. I'm sad that he didn't make it again, but looking forward to a Justin Dirty Laundry reunion soon.
Yes, he should be back soon. In contact, I'm assuming something big popped up. Auctions around the league, not much. NHL Auctions doesn't have any game worn related stuff at the moment. My Gray Auctions, you have a few different ones. The Global Series ones that they close next Wednesday, October 30th. The pricing on some of these still looks really decent. So another way to talk about getting your hands on a Fanatics jersey, this is a way to do it. I haven't really gone through the pictures to see if much of these show wear. I haven't really zoomed in on My Gray's pictures, but we'll be curious to see, and as people get their hands on them, what their thoughts are. The other ones that NHL Auctions have already closed, so those people, if they have not got them, should have very soon. I'd be curious what their thoughts are. 2024 East Coast Hockey League PHPA Captains Club auction is up there as well. It ends in 14 days. And then the goalie shutout auction, which ends on Halloween. There are pucks in there. There are jerseys in there. There is equipment in there. All kinds of different things, but they're all tied to a goalie shutout. And it has some really cool pucks and different things in there. So if you're looking for that, it is a really neat mix of years and all kinds of stuff. So kind of really, really cool auction. That's Classic Auctions has got stuff coming soon. I know the Tim Thomas collection is coming in there, and I think I've seen some other teases, but I don't remember what else it is. So that really wraps up the game worn stuff around different sites and that, unless you guys have seen stuff that I have not.
No, you did pretty good.
Nothing I can recall.
So now just kind of wrap up the expo a little bit, and Wade, I'll give it to you here in just a second, but I want to, you saw the two podcasts we put out from there, and I apologize if the camera view and stuff was a little off. It was a camera I grabbed to test out for doing these things going forward, where I can, we can also have video in it, not just be audio. So played around with that a little bit. So if the view is a little off or things, it was just the first time playing with that, but I know that's going to work going forward. So I promise that will get better. I want to thank everybody we interviewed on the podcast. Blues on day one, Blues alumni Mike Zook. That was such a fun conversation to really go all over the place with him. New collector, or he's been a collector, but and went to the expo last year and then put a table this year. Scott Henke, we spent a lot of time with him, learned a lot of interesting stuff. He was very fun to hang around with. Milt also joined us there. Scott was the one too, as you heard about in the interview, and actually we had talked about on this podcast a few different times, is the Blues fax auctions. He actually had copies of those sheets, so we talked about them on the pod and took pictures of them. It was funny. Even Wade showed Nick Gay from the St. Louis Blues, showing him those, how things used to be, and he cracked up over him. He just said he could not imagine doing it and how much of a pain in the ass that would be. Dwight Schofield, another Blues alumni. He was a signer on Sunday. Enjoyed sitting down with him. Of course, Brian Clifford. It was funny interviewing him with his whole setup right in the background. I mean, you can't miss the damn thing. And then, of course, Pete G down from Chicago with his amazing Hawks and other guy collection. And really enjoyed talking to him. Pete's always fun to hang around with all weekend, just telling stories and sharing stuff. The group was great. So Wade, now turn it over to you.
No, I mean, I wanted to thank everybody. Well, I wanted to thank everybody who took the time to go on the podcast for both of us. I unfortunately wasn't able to get on every little segment.
Yeah,
I hate to say that.
And I'll say apology. That's kind of, I'm to blame for that, because I'm still even today fighting this cold. I was in such a brain medicine fog the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Keeping my thoughts straight with what I was doing and what my plans were, I completely effed that up. And so I a few times wanted us to do that, but at least we got it.
Kind of by design. On my end, it was kind of by design. I really wanted to let other people have a voice a little bit, and kind of turn the table on those folks and let them jump on there, and let you do what you do best, which is host the show.
But you notice I was not on camera, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
I tried to stay off camera as much as possible.
Both Mike and Dwight were true gentlemen, great with everybody, and to come on the show, kind of not a last second because I'd mentioned it to him, but to be willing to do that, I thought was really nice. Dwight wasn't feeling real well for the weekend, and he was just great. Mike's always great, so thanks to those guys, and thank you for bringing all this stuff down. We got 2 shows knocked out. I know everybody was mad that Thursday we didn't drop one, so kind of gave everybody their fill, which was nice. And thanks to everybody who set up a table, anybody who came through the front door for an autograph or just to attend the show. Every year it gets easier and harder in different regards. But again, I find myself where I take that minute each day where I kind of stop and I look around and I see everything going on, and it reminds me like why I do it or why we do it and how it works, and how much I really do enjoy it at the end of it. So to everyone who supports the show and me and our hobby, thank you guys. I can't thank you enough. It was really cool. I think there was a lot of good stuff there. That was the one thing, like Ringside brought some crazy stuff, and then just everybody's tables. There was so much amazing stuff around the room, and so many good people. It's just fun to watch people interact.
I mean, just the shocking stuff as I'm recording. I can't remember who I was interviewing at the time, but the table, it was on Saturday. The table to the left of us, which was what Ringside was taking on Sunday, I happened to look over as I'm interviewing somebody, and they drop a football jersey, and it's now I'm gonna.
The Mike Singletary jersey. There was a Mike Singletary.
One was one, and then
Darrell Rivas.
No,
Michael Strahan.
Thank you. Yeah, the Strahan one. I saw them like, holy crap! There's a
yeah,
and that was a big thing. Is the mix of sports.
Sure, and there was a guy who's a St. Louis local guy who collects game used NFL stuff. He came to do some commerce, and we had talked before the show, and he was interested and wasn't sure about getting a table. And he's like, I'm definitely getting a table next year. So like, to me, like that's a win. I know we do this show and it's hockey related. I obviously have a background outside of hockey collecting as well, and so do you guys at some level. But to get a guy from a different genre to say, hey, this is awesome, I want to come be a part of it and try to grow it into that segment of the hobby. I've said it a couple times, like I want this Game Used show to be a Game Used show, because whether it's baseball or hockey or football or whatever, we all struggle with the same fact of not being able to find a show that represents what we collect. So if it means we're going to do a show together, I'm all for it. And I'm really excited to see more cool stuff, no matter what team it's from. So I guess, again, I've said this a couple of times. I humbly thank everyone. I thank all my friends who, even some of the people that weren't able to make it, who have showed immense support, and just I'm thankful. So thanks a lot, guys.
And just the few pictures I shared Friday when we were doing setups and Saturday morning, and people reaching out, commenting, oh, I want to, hey, go look at this thing for me. They saw in pictures, or as people would walk around, even us having tables would go look at the Cardinal stuff or look at the football stuff. The number of guys with just hockey collections picking up ball bats and swinging them around, and just things like that people are getting excited to see other things. And it was sharing the stories with these different jerseys and different people popping in for, hey, I'm looking for this, or I just want any kind of enforcer related stuff. And I talked to a guy I've never met before, sold him one of the jerseys, and it was great traffic. It was so much fun because, I mean, we were joking around and at one point, I'm gonna rat you out, Wade. One point you had to go home and get your helmets and some of your game worn football jerseys from your indoor football league and outdoor stuff, because one of the guys there, they got to talking about that and said he watched Wade play because he went to all those kind of games back in the day. So Wade brought in his game worn stuff to show the guy. And it was a fun interaction for me to just stand back and watch, because he was so excited. And Wade, I could tell how excited you were, showing it all, Sharon. And
the stuff I don't plot. It's something I did in life. It's not who I am. And it's something I guess, I mean, I do talk about it, but I don't try to like make it a big deal. So to get to pull that stuff out and bring it and show it off was neat for me. And it was neat. The funny part, and I told you, I had to go to my mom's house to get some stuff out of the basement for that. And as I was taking it out of her house, she said, well, what are you doing with that stuff? And I said, oh, I'm taking it to the show. And she abruptly told me that I was not selling it. She's like, we're not selling that.
When
stuff.
Mom says no, you listen.
Yeah. I said, no, Mama. I said, I'm just going to show it. And she's like, she goes, I just don't think you should sell it. And I said, okay, well, I won't. I said, but it was that was actually kind of neat too, because it meant something to her, which was fun. But it was neat to show it off and fun, like just fun. I mean, I had fun the whole weekend, and
thanks to your family for running the out front with people coming in and picking up food and all that stuff. It's awesome that they want to help you, and they're fun to interact with. Your I believe it's your niece's boyfriend.
He's a big sports fan.
Well, and he stopped and talked to me because he's wanting to start a podcast. So he was asking about the equipment we use. So I had about a half-hour conversation even on that. And it's fun. And I mean, our setup, and I'll have to post a picture online at some point, it's nothing fancy. It's a couple microphones, a Rodecaster Pro mixer, and my laptop, and then the camera. But it does everything. I mean, we did shows and just be able to grab people, throw a mic in their face and say, let's go. It's a ball. So it really was. I got home about 6:00 Sunday and was exhausted, but, and again, with fighting through all the sickness. Heck, Saturday night, I was in bed by 9:45.
Yeah, you were a trooper though. You went, you really did fight through it. And I appreciate that. Cause I can't do it without you. I mean, you're such a big part of it for me. You're my sounding board on a lot of things. And, my family is great, like my sister and my nieces and everybody who chips in, the support. I think all of us find support from our friends and family in our hobby, or we get laughed at for, or somewhere in between. my nieces and everybody always trying to give away jerseys at the end of the show, or trying to figure out if I sold any is always fun.
Right. Help you repack.
Yeah. So fortunate. And yeah, the getting home and unpacking is really the worst part.
And one other thought with that too is, as we put the pictures, you put stuff on Facebook, I put some stuff on, is all the well wishes in the comments from across the country or across the world.
Yeah.
Hey, looks like fun. Great. When we posted the group picture, all those things. So
Yeah.
you all of you sending those kind of messages, it's great. And anytime you comment on any of these expos, you're supporting even from afar. So we
sure.
thank you for that, because just the well wishes and the excitement at any distance does mean a lot.
Oh, it's great. It's great. To kind of wrap it up, it's just a big thank you, and fortunate and thankful. So we'll see you guys in April for the Frozen 4 version, which is going to be a little different, probably a little more intimate, but fun all the same. And then I'm trying to get everything resolved in a date sooner than later for next October, back at the DoubleTree in Collinsville, in some or somewhere else or something else. But I'm working out some details, but always looking for feedback just to keep making it better. The biggest thing that was most important to me was I was able to get Kevin Jones the right kind of pizza this year.
Yeah, he was excited about that.
He got pizza he wanted, so that mattered to me. And Kevin and I have been friends since we were in junior high school, so it's neat that through all the years of friendship, we've also been able to share our passion for collecting. So pretty cool. So glad he was there again and part of it.
And to spin off the expo, some really good research and cool stuff came out of it. Last week, and of course we didn't have a show on Thursday. Late last week, the Blues put an auction up for preseason, some issued, some worn in preseason games, home jerseys. I bid on one, ended up winning it. Emailed Nick and said, "Hey, if you don't mind, I either pick it up Friday or if you don't mind bringing it Sunday when you guys come to the expo." Like, you know what? I'll bring it on Sunday. No big deal. Wade had also reached out and asked and said, "Hey, if you happen to have any Fanatics game jerseys, do you mind bringing one? Because none of us have been able to be in front of one yet." Nick Gay from Ringside Reserve came with a Heritage jersey.
Yeah.
Dylan Holloway one. What was funny is the team made it up for him the whole bit. He put it on with his gear and decided it was too tight and went up a size. Yeah. So it'll get auctioned off in one of their auctions as an issued because he changed size, which isn't uncommon at the beginning of a season. No. So
especially with a new brand, that's going to be interesting. Yes. Beyond him, I wonder how much that happened around the league, if the sizing is just a touch different, or if you change.
And I need to pretty much, I guess I need to put one of my Adidas ones on and then this Fanatics one in the same size and see how it feels. But yes, yeah. I now own a preseason Blues home Fanatics, and some people are going to fall out of the chair, but I will say I'm impressed with it. It does not really have.
Oh, are you okay?
Right.
I'm trying.
No. I mean, again, what I have has no wear to it. The guy played one or two games, so there's no major burns, things like that. Once we get those in, it'll be interesting to see how they hold up. But the look, the feel, and let me put a few pictures up here just to share.
The quality was there. I mean, like, the material quality was definitely there, and I think that's been our big question, or one of the big question marks, was material quality, and it seemed to be there. I like, it seemed like the arms, that extra reinforcement, the elbows was interesting and, a little heavier. The tagging, I'm sure you're wanting to get to that, but the tagging, we're doing a lot of research on that right now.
Like that, so you can see it. Sorry about that. Even zooming in on how the stitching's done. EPS is now doing the stitching for the Blues. We know Wade, we compared it. It's more of a flat stitch.
Yeah, you can see on the north side, if you're looking at this picture, the top stitch looks almost flat, and then the bottom stitch kind of 90 degrees off of it. And it's a tighter stitch than what we've seen in the past from what I can tell from what Levy was doing on the stitching for the Blues.
Yes.
So it almost has like a heavier look to it. And maybe it's the way that that one is stitched, but also the Holloway had a very similar stitch to it. I liked what Fanatics has done to the logo on the front. The front logo seemed to have a little bit more of a 3D look to it.
And
The Blues logo is obviously one of the flatter logos around the league, but it looked like it just felt like it had a little bit more depth.
Let me reshare that. This Zoom was
cool.
being a pain here.
That's right.
Yeah, here we go. It's a little hard to see because I'm trying to get the angle, but the yellow especially sits.
Yeah.
It is a taller.
Yeah, it had a 3D effect to it.
Yeah, it's running your hand over it. It's much taller than the Adidas equivalent. So the logo itself isn't just past built. It is much more 3D.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, like I said, across the way, I felt like it was a good jersey. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up to gameplay. But I think overall, I was, like you said, I was impressed. I definitely felt better about it walking away from it than I did when we first had our ideas of what it might be.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. I should have pulled the picture up here too. I didn't save it to my computer. We did a little other detective work because when I went to the Blues Blackhawks preseason game, I went into the store, looked at the Pro Authentic, and the neck tagging is identical too, by the way, that flat Authentic Pro tag. I should have mailed. I didn't email that one to myself either. But that flat Fanatics where it says Authentic Pro as the size, the made in Canada, is identical to the ones that are in the Blues store. Then when I went in and took the Born On tag that's in the lower hem, took pictures of that in the store, and we compared that to both the one that I own, all the codes match.
Yeah.
So
from what we can tell, I think we got to figure out if one of them is the style code. It's going to take a little bit more research, but they're definitely the same setup.
Yeah. So it's because there was some questions. Are they truly the same? At this point, it looks that way, which I think is a positive thing for that. So, I mean, and I understand the price of the Authentics. Of course, we're game collectors. But people are buying that.
Yeah.
But
I do think, here there's going to be less expensive options. So I think the one thing that'll keep those from being really overrun is the price tag. It still will become a pretty exclusive thing, even though people are going to have access to buy them. Regular, Tom, Dick, and Harry that walk into the Blues team store or the Sharks team store, in a lot of those cases, probably aren't going to want to buck up as it was $500 or $600 for the game Authentic, and they'll probably, look at the $200 or $300 version and say, "Oh, that's good enough." So I still think that the price point will keep the exclusivity a little bit around.
Yeah.
But
here
it's
is the
interesting
tag now too.
Yeah, and so we're trying to figure out the middle row number, the 0355 and the 080A. I'm trying to figure out if that is a style code, because I think one of those jerseys is a Heritage and the other one is like a blue home. So the question is going to be, is that middle number a style number? Like we're assuming that SP has to do with where it's made. Obviously the middle number, the 0424, and on the other one, the 0624 is the born on date. The bottom number, we got to figure out if that is a team code.
I'm believing that is because both being on Heritage and on the home, that's the same. And my home is the 0355 also.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of research to do, but I think we've done a pretty good job of deciphering them up to this point.
And if people are in, and we asked Paul to do it with San Jose, if you're in your team's shop at some point, if you don't mind send us a picture of that same tag. It's underneath the two bigger tags. If you just flip them over, send that to us and let us know what team it is. We'd like to kind of even maybe build a database of what those numbers are so we can kind of figure things out.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be huge for our hobby.
Yeah, one of the baffling things to me on that tag is it was 06-24, but the born on sticker was August 24. If you look
you know what? Let me go back to that.
So, that's interesting.
That might have been the start of the production run of that style.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, there's going to be things that we're going to have to figure out, you know.
Yeah. And it's funny because there's two. The one on the right is the retail. So you've got the 08-24 twice. And looks like actually in one is 8-24, and I think it's 24 over here. So it's funny. There's two different of those stickers.
Yeah, it's actually interesting where those stickers are, because in the past, those stickers have hid inside there's one there, but there's also typically the second one is usually hiding inside the fight strap. So there's usually one on that tag and one inside the fight strap. That's a great, kind of a great way to tell if a jersey's been washed or used, if that one is still stuck inside the fight strap.
But I thought the last couple of years, at least in the AHL, they stopped doing them in the fight strap, and I can't recall if the NHL stopped a year or two ago.
I did open the one in there. I don't have it on this one, but of course, the actual other born on tag has been washed off the lower hem tag, so we'd have to see.
I love the fact that they still use. I love the fact that they've that factory's been using that same like price tag for literally 30 years, 30 plus years. They've had the exact same thing going on all the jerseys. It just hasn't changed. That consistency of that it just interests me.
And then the other really cool piece, and again, we'll take a little credit. It's what I'm going to say at this point. We'll take a little credit for it. Is since we've gotten to know Nick from the Blues, we have made thoughts and suggestions, especially the last couple seasons where they've been putting and the other teams are doing it too, is that sticker barcode in the neck for scanning and tracking if they give you what games it was worn, things like that. And Wade and I both talked to him about, hey, down the road it may fall off or different things. Well,
I've got a couple of them starting to fall off already.
Yep, there you go. And Nick had been, I mean, again, we appreciate, we're not pushy. We always give suggestions of, hey, we've seen this with other teams. We've seen this issue or this problem, or these are stickers. We've owned jerseys a long time that had something similar, and you find them on the floor. Yeah. So with that barcode, he went in and with the jersey he brought to the show, which was awesome, is having that buy-in from the Authentics guys to do show us stuff or kind of give us a sneak peek. This is the set stamp for this year, and the barcode is built into the set stamp.
Very cool.
And I actually hadn't noticed it till just now because I've been looking at other stuff. Is look at down the right side, the customized by Exclusive Pro Sports.
Yeah. Did your preseason one have a set tag in it or no?
No, it does not. It only has the authentic sticker they put inside that matches my LOA.
And that's one of the reasons. And we did talk to them about they're gonna have to do something to distinguish that stuff. Some stuff, we gave him a couple suggestions because, especially now,
he understood us. We explained and
he actually said, and it's always nice to have, Nick is, and we're not trying to kiss anybody's butt, but he does a great job, and they've brought, they're definitely invested in doing it right, and as a Blues fan, that's huge, and Paul has access and has done a lot with the Sharks, so it's awesome to have those guys care. And there's other franchises, and obviously Migrate has a pulse on their teams and what have you, but it's great to continue to see it grow.
And how much just again, just interacting, and I talked about it even I think in the interview with Nick, is when he came last year to the expo and walked in the room. Because I mean,
Yeah.
we talked to him a ton about how much the collectors have and what kind of jerseys people own, but until you walk in the room and get in front of it,
Yeah.
it's you can't quite put it together. And his eyes got huge last year when he walked in there. Just and not even for blue stuff, but
Well, I
it's
mean, and even the new guy Tyler. It was funny. Was he vanished a couple times and he was
yeah,
just like in the show, like interacting with people, looking at stuff. I mean, so to me, that's like a win, to see those guys get invested and whatever. And we're not going to call out Nick for his collection, but Nick collects. I think he even called that out, so I know it's not a secret. But he collects other stuff other than jerseys. So like, to watch him get excited about that, and obviously that his new partner Tyler, he comes from the baseball world. Really, it's just awesome. I mean, it's cool to see collectors collect, but it's also like you said, you don't get a pulse on it till you see all this stuff in person.
and it is nice having that relationship so we can bounce stuff off them and at times they've actually asked us questions of what we thought, and it's appreciated. And I told Nick, I said, even if I wasn't a fan of the blues or stuff, but seeing how he's doing it,
Yeah.
he takes pride in what's being done, and we appreciate teams that do that and to whatever level they can. So but again, the fact that he even brought a heritage jersey, reached out to the trainer had that Dylan Holloway, who scored a goal tonight, at least one. So
For the second one.
sorry Oilers fans.
Yeah.
But it was nice to get that in front of us to compare it. And several different people, I pulled the Fanatics one I got and one of the Adidas, and we were looking at how the striping was on the jersey, how the NHL shield on the neck, just all these different things. And honestly, I believe most people were impressed, or at least more comfortable than just when we were, I get guessing, for lack of a better word.
Oh, for sure.
Would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's trending in a better direction than even I think we hoped.
And I mean the hate or not hate the Fanatics logo, it is stitched on there nice, looks decent. It's weird seeing them on the ice in games. But the time will tell with wear and things like that. I know the Blues first set ones are usually January, February, they put them out for auction. Some other
Yeah, usually they wear them. They'll wear them until usually about the middle of December, end of December.
last couple of years been that.
And then usually they start sliding out of them at the end of November, beginning of December. They slide out of them, and then we'll start seeing them first couple auctions right after Christmas time.
So, and Paul, I wish you were closer where we could get your hands on it and kind of get your take. But so far I'm not turned off by them. I say that, and they feel just a tiny bit heavier. But again, when you've got the shoulders and that are no longer the dimples, doesn't add a lot of weight, but it adds a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I guess change of heart, at least for now. We'll see how they overall hold up, but the at least quality of a game jersey and in comparison to the store is identical for anybody dealing with that.
We're really gonna know when we get Paul in a Fanatics jersey. That's when we're gonna know.
As Paul looks like he's gonna be sick.
Yeah, that is going to be a tough one. That is going to be really, really tough.
And if you get a chance, even go if you want to even touch one, Paul. If you don't, I understand. If you go into the pro shop, see what the Sharks logo on the front, if any of it's more raised than it used to be. I didn't even think too, and may not be a true comparison, is a lot of the stores still have a ton of the Adidas jerseys because they're blowing them out, the Authentics. And I don't know if the logos are built exactly the same, but or if you're wearing one of your current Sharks, I'd be curious to see how that logo feels. And again, if anybody else checks out their store one, please reach out. I'd love to hear comments on if your stitching looks different, if the logo feels different, things like that. Even the on the Blues, the ad patch, the Stiefel patch, the text is actually thinner. We compared that to one of last year's ones, and the text was actually a little bit thinner through the whole thing. So just even little minute changes like that. So I'd be curious if any of the other teams, collectors, are seeing that. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that review and seeing some of the pictures. If you have questions, like I said, feel free to reach out. That's kind of the big things to cover and talk about. Paul, have you got anything else you want to touch on?
Not that I can think of. I mean, my Red Wings won tonight, so
That's
what,
good.
very happy, and your Blues won, so it's
Yes.
all around. And the Sharks hopefully will get a win in October. Um, hopefully. So yeah, no, nothing new. Game worn world to cover. I appreciate the deep dive into the new Fanatics and stuff. Like I said, it's going to be a tough sell on me, but we will. I'm going to give it time. So best I can say on it. So
And I was trying to pull up here if I can find it. I should have grabbed the picture earlier. Is they did release the picture today of the Four Nations face-off jerseys.
Oh, really?
And I'm trying to find a good picture of it.
I was busy today. I missed that. I can't wait to see him. Yeah,
Uh,
one thing, and we're going to throw it out there. If anybody hears or knows of what's going to happen to the Utah jerseys, I think that's still a mystery. I know, Doc, you said you were
I need
going
to
look
try and
into
reach
it.
out again. I did to a couple people, but I don't know if I got the right people or not.
Yeah, interested to see how they're going to do that. I mean, that's inaugural jerseys are always interesting. I still think they're idiots for double patching the shoulders, but I'm going
Yeah,
to publicly
we
say
talked
that's all
about
I
that
got.
some at the
Yeah, it's the
thing.
stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Let's see. I'm actually getting them here really quick. So give
I'm
me
probably hopefully nobody from the Utah club is going to listen to me bash their stupidity.
yeah, and maybe it was a rush thing. They didn't think about the other.
They could have called.
Yeah, that's true. Um, let's see.
I would have been happy to make my suggestions for a couple jerseys.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't take money. All right.
No.
Let me see.
Clayton Keller from St. Louis.
All right. Let me share this again. Here's the.
I was just going to forward it to you, but you're on top of it.
Yep. There's the. And it's hard to see. The arms have a design in that light blue stripe.
Yeah, I like that. Who's making these jerseys?
I'm gonna assume Fanatics, but
I
it's unclear.
Fanatics tagged in a post, so I'm assuming Fanatics also.
The neck is really cool. I love that neck logo.
I actually like that little shoulder. I like that little navy that's outside the. I actually like that.
Yeah. All right. Let me go to the next one here. Should have made this a slideshow. It would have been easier.
And they only revealed one jersey from each team.
Correct. Let's see. I should have put that in a collage or something. But all right, yeah, there's USA. And it looks like there's a subtle design in there somewhere, and you can see stars on the upper arms. Yeah. But it does. I kind of wish they'd done something like with the other one, an opposite color or something around the neck. That is,
yeah.
I agree with you, Paul. That's
they would have done like a red and a white around the neck. That would have really set that thing off.
Yeah. Let's see. Next one. But I'll be curious to see who has the who sells these. And again, on the neck, this one's two colors. It's got yellow and black.
Yeah, that's probably that navy.
Yeah,
I like.
Be. Yeah, maybe
I like that too.
Maybe just on the away jersey, the lighter colored one. They're doing that.
Yeah, I can't wait till they release the rest of them, and then let me get the final one here, which should be Canada.
Oh, Canada,
home of Timbits and such.
So,
and a great exchange rate. Thank you, Canadians.
oh yeah.
And
I like
again,
that
that
too.
one has the white up around the neck too. So yeah, you're right. I think USA might have that for the opposite.
Did the
I think
USA
they
one
would have
not have
set
the
something
nation?
off in dark.
Yeah. Did the USA one not have the nations patch on it, or did I miss that?
If it did, it was just a screw up because all of them should have it. And I love that it has the nation circle is that piece in the center of the neck.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And it's hard
For
to
some
see.
reason, I don't think I
them-
didn't see the patch on the USA one.
Okay. All of them must have, and it's again the lighting seems to be helping. Is in that middle red stripe on the arm must have a design in it because the
Okay.
Canada one I can see the light hitting it. It's something
Yeah.
I can't tell close enough what it is. I'll have to read if there's any descriptions that really break it down. I believe they're very sharp. I like the logo.
Yeah.
I think it's good all the way around. I don't see really any issues um, with these.
No, they look great.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that it's Maple Leafs in the Canada one on the shadow striping.
And that definitely could be.
Looking at a few other photos, but yeah, it's hard. It's so hard to tell. Oh, it looks like that shadow striping continues on the front of the jersey too, in the red
Wow.
band.
Very cool.
Yeah. Um, Canada, the USA will have the most visible sweaters. Canada will wear red. US, so they're only having one color.
Wow.
It says Canada will wear red, USA will wear blue, Sweden yellow, Finland white.
Well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. And this, some of this info is from uniwatch.com, by the way. USA will have blue sweaters with USA in white and red outlines for wordmark crest. Appears USA sleeves will have a white red stripe, which also on the hem. There's a white star on the upper shoulder. There's some short videos the NHL PA put out, but it's it's hard to really tell some of the finer details. Hopefully they'll be released soon. I'm assuming Fanatics are doing these, but I don't see any front tagging or anything, and there's no pictures of the back to know for sure. And the quick articles, I did not see who was doing it. So, but again, they were just really released today. But I don't have an issue with them. I think they look solid. I'll be curious to see how they're sold. But definitely a sharp, very sharp addition. So anything else, Wade? You got anything before we go?
Nope. Glad to be back. Glad to have a regular show date. I'm excited for the season to continue. I mean, everything seems to be rolling along. So, just happy to be here.
And next Thursday would be a Halloween episode, so I don't know if we need to dress up in a costume or what for that one. We'll have to discuss it off air and figure it out.
And if we stick to the normal recording time, Monica will get stuck dealing with the kids at the door. So,
oh, there you go. Well, gentlemen, another great show in the books. And again, we thank you for all the support with the St. Louis Expo and on any expo, again, that you support anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the interviews of the 2 days. Please like, subscribe, follow that stuff. I know we've had a lot of listens already on both of the episodes and the interviews. A lot of good information. Even if you don't care about what the Blues do or whatever, definitely go listen to that interview with Nick. Is hearing what he did to their program and stuff and the research and other things is really cool inside stuff. All of those guys gave so much. Mike Zook still owns and wears his shoulder pads from the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, just bits like that. And I brought up interviewing him too, talking about people smoking in the locker room post game and just cool stuff like that. So not all just focusing on game stuff, but more of just picking the brain of guys that were in the old school years of the NHL. But again, thank you. If you want to be a guest on the show, please reach out. I've booked some different guests that have reached out to me already. If you don't want to reach out to me, reach out to Wade or Paul. We would love to have you on. If you've got a topic you want us to cover and you don't want to come on, please share that as well. But we are going to keep running this show every week. We enjoy it. We have a lot of fun. And really just thank you from all of us. Until next week, we'll see you then. Enjoy. Oops, that's not what I want to do.